Opportunity to congratulate this fabulous portal that we have. I am one of the casting directors who signed up, like with closed eyes when I was asked to come on board. Because considering that, we have so many multis and, we find talent today where we least expect it. I know this is one such place where we hope that we find people, who we don't generally reach to. Um in terms of question, my question is to KJ and to Ashu sir and people who have production houses and who have impaneled casting directors with them already. My question is that we as freelance casting directors, if today spot a talent through this portal or something, how can we blur the lines in terms of reaching to your casting directors or sending them to directly to a Dharma or an AGBPL? I mean, my worry could be a very micro worry at a very small level, but for a talent, for an actor who's genuinely a very good talent, it might be at a very macro level. So I just wanted to ask, like, as a casting director sitting in Andheri in one of those, MADA or an Aram Nagar office, how is it possible for me, through this portal, to take those talents to your casting directors or to your production houses directly? Will those lines blur, or is it again going to be a channel in the process?
I can speak for myself when I say that we don't have a one casting director. Like I think Shanu casts only for YRF. I don't think that we have one. We work with multiple casting directors. So in that respect, I mean, if at all one does engage with this digital concept of casting, I mean, all doors at Dharma open. You just have to get in touch with the EPs of the film, and it's a very simple process, and we encourage that. At Dharma, I think we kind of keep an open, democratic forum in any kind of vertical of the film, and we're not bound to one casting director for any film. We worked with about 6 of them in the last 2 years, so it's an open forum for us.
Yeah, I think ditto that. Even we have worked with now 2 casting directors. Actually, that's a question more for the casting director fraternity. Because there is a lot of insecurity that creeps in that when I want, suppose, a particular kind of actor and the casting director is not able to give it to me, he or she feels not very happy about the fact that not being able to deliver. But actually, that's not the case. So it's between the networking of casting directors that you might have a certain actors in your bouquet and you need to have an exchange. So even like what you said, it doesn't matter to us whether it's coming from you or from somebody else. What is important is we need someone to fit our requirement. So that can be in every... Also, I just want to add here, sorry, that what I like most about this portal is also that, when I was doing Jodha Akbar, we needed these oboe players and particular instruments. And at that time, we had to go searching all over, and we found 2 in Canada, 2 in somewhere in Europe, and had to source them and get them. It took some time for us to do. Yeah. But for a portal like this, I think it'll be easier for me to reach out to a very obscure artist who specializes in some kind of expertise and get him for my movie. Or for it can be anybody else's requirement. It can be a musician's requirement. So I think that's a one.
That's a great example.
One of the questions that he wants to know and didn't ask was that how does he monetize his flock with a casting director?
Yes.
Because a casting director is paid by the production house. A freelance casting director actually takes the money from the model who he recommends to whoever he recommends it to.
Yes. Yes.
So if he recommends a particular model, then he to a casting director, he loses them.
Right.
And how does he then monetize his efforts?
Yes. I think he has the answer to that through my team already. So, but I think, hold on one second. I think Samir actually has a unique perspective on this, given how much castings they have to do with raw talent.
Yeah, I mean, the way to look at it is that movies have limited bandwidth. The fact that the directors like Karan and Ashutosh will only do these many movies in a year. And then the second amount where you actually get tonnage and throughput is television. And the third, which is really a separate industry altogether, is the world which we are part of, which is digital. I mean, in UTV, we created a show called Chikipedia, which was meant only for the web. And in that, we casted Tahir Raj Bhasin. In fact, because of that series, then he got noticed by Yash Raj and was then in Mardani. So Tahir, to a large extent, was discovered because of a digital web series. The girl who was cast opposite him, Nafisa, actually has a good career on television now. So I think what's happened now, in fact, at Culture Machine, a lot of our product, whether it's on Being Indian or Blush, while we have mainstream Bollywood talent which comes for the big video, a lot of the talent actually keeps getting called regularly for films. So I think one step to think about is like a funnel. On the top end, you have digital, where you have a lot of tonnage of content, and because of that, talent gets discovered, and quite frankly, it gets watched by millions of people. So you get your face in front of like 150 million people who access portals like YouTube and Facebook and actually get to prove your talent in whatever genre which you are there, whether it's singing or acting or directing, or even people on art and art design actually get regularly called by movie production houses. The thing is, they don't have the bandwidth because they have to choose proven talent, because they're putting that kind of money on a product which is going to cost crores. So they want proven talent. Where do they go? They go to TV, and now increasingly they go to digital. So probably if you're a casting director, get in touch with us at Culture Machine. We create content regularly, and it's a great way to actually focus on new talent, because we can't afford Bollywood talent. So necessity is the mother of invention, and that's the reason why we have to break new talent.
Well, the necessity is the reason why we created Talent Next, so that's a great explanation, Samir. I think we have one more question waiting.
Right here.
Yep.
Hi. Okay, so this question is directed towards Salim. I was just wondering, so what is the most essential thing you look at while forming a crew?
What do you mean by forming a crew?
Like, let's say if you want to pick your actors and even background actors, or is that a platform for in Talent Next? Like, I'm just wondering.
I'm a musician, so
Okay.
if talking about, if I have to choose like a musician, let's say a keyboardist or a shahnai player or an oboe player, or whatever, it's something which touches me. I mean, I don't really look at what the person can do, how many different instruments that guy can play or whatever. For me, it's just if I relate to his playing or her playing, or the music he or she does, or the singing she does or he does, then that really is my calling, that I feel like I should connect with the person. But Ashu said a very interesting thing about he was looking for these oboe players during Jodha Akbar, and many a times when we do a song, we look for a new voice, and even though there are so many new voices, there's always like, lekin that thumri voice, that little, that age in that voice. And sometimes it's very difficult to find in Mumbai city. And you definitely get something like that more in, the regions of Punjab and Uttar Pradesh and Jammu and stuff like that. And those, lot of artists, they don't really want to come down to Mumbai. They're very comfortable in their own spaces. They're very happy. Some of them are radio artists. They perform on radio and they're phenomenal. And believe me, nobody knows about them in Mumbai. There's so many, and it's really something which you have to really research if you need a fantastic voice. For instance, like a female voice, which is like in her 50s or 60s or whatever. You need that kind of voice for a film song. It's very hard to find. You only have your Kavita Sheth or your Malini Avasthi or whatever, a couple of other artists. But if you're really looking for a new voice, it's very, very difficult. I believe with TN, it will make a difference. If it reaches out to those people, if it reaches out to those artists and those singers and those musicians, we in Mumbai and the entire world will have a great time listening to these and discovering these voices.
That's well said, Salim. Thank you.
Hi, this is Ravi. Hi, this is Ravi, and my question to Salim sir. Hi, this side. सर टैलेंट की बात हो रही है, तो अगर लेजेंडरी की बात ना हो तो थोड़ा सा अधूरा लगेगा. लोग इस समय चाह रहे हैं कि एक म्यूजिशियन पर एक बायोपिक बने. सो व्हाट्स योर टेक ऑन दिस कि आर.डी. बर्मन पर एक बायोपिक बनना चाहिए? आप क्या कहेंगे इस पर?
आर.डी. बर्मन जी पे एक फिल्म बन चुकी है ऑलरेडी, विच इज़ कॉल्ड पंचमदा, आई थिंक इट्स कॉल्ड. अनफॉर्चुनेटली वो फिल्म एक्चुअली सोनी पर आई थी, और it's very sad that it didn't really get the kind of viewership it required. But I think it would have been great if it really got to digital content, and because that way to Panchamda pe film bani hai. Just to answer your question, it came out about 3 years ago. It released on Sony Mix or so, I don't know which channel.
आपको लगता है कि mass audience तक पहुंचनी चाहिए उनकी बायोपिक?
बेशक, I think उनका म्यूजिक आज भी जिंदा है. उनका म्यूजिक आज भी हम सुनते हैं, तो बेशक पहुंचनी चाहिए. बट मेरे हिसाब से टेलीविज़न अपनी जगह पे बहुत ही कमाल कर रहा है, लेकिन अगर ये सेम चीज़ अगर डिजिटल पे आ जाती है तो कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जो चीज़ टेलीविज़न पे आती है वो पूरी दुनिया नहीं देख सकती बिकॉज ऑफ द प्रोग्रामिंग द वे इट इज़. इंडिया ऑफ कोर्स वॉचेस इट, जितना इंडिया देखता है उतना देखता है, जितना बीम होता है बाहर. बट जैसे पंचमदा जैसे वो बायोपिक जैसे बनी थी, अगर उसी तरह डिजिटल पे अगर वो बने तो कनाडा, अमेरिका, यूके, इस तरह की कंट्रीज़ में बहुत सारे लोग हैं जो ये डिजिटल कंटेंट कंज्यूम कर पाएंगे. तो आई थिंक इट्स बेटर इट गोज़ ऑन डिजिटल एज वेल.
हाय करण, दिस इज़ आलोक. आप बस आवाज़ सुन लीजिए, आपके सामने हूँ.
हाँ आलोक. हाँ.
सवाल ये है, एज अ प्रोड्यूसर और एज अ डायरेक्टर जब आप फिल्में करते हैं तो कास्टिंग पे कितना ध्यान आपका जा पाता है, और किस तरीके का डिफरेंस होता है एक प्रोड्यूसर और एक डायरेक्टर के होने के नाते?
देखिए, प्रोड्यूसर होने के नाते तो अब कास्टिंग में मैं कभी घुसता ही नहीं, क्योंकि वो डायरेक्टर का माध्यम है. जब मैं डायरेक्टर होता हूँ तो ऑफ कोर्स कास्टिंग इज़ अ वेरी इंटीग्रल पार्ट ऑफ द प्रोसेस. तो आजकल जैसे बहुत अहमियत है कास्टिंग पे, और ज़रूरी होता है, क्योंकि हमारे जो किरदार होते हैं, जो एक्टर्स होते हैं, वो अभी वो ट्रेडिशनल फॉर्मेट के कैरेक्टर्स नहीं रहे. अभी देयर आर लेयर्स एंड देयर आर ग्रे एरियाज, एंड एक ऊंदा एक्टिंग की बहुत ज़रूरत होती है. एंड आई थिंक जस्ट फॉर दैट I think we have to be extra particular. तो casting is a big drawn out process. अभी बहुत बड़ा process बन चुका है वो हमारे लिए. It's not simple कि हम किसी ने उस फिल्म में काम किया है तो उसे कास्ट कर लो. अभी नए चेहरे की बहुत ज़रूरत होती है, और ये नए चेहरे जो होते हैं, नए टैलेंट जो होता है, जो हुनर जो होता है, वो बहुत ज़रूरी होता है टू गो टू डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म्स एंड पीपल टू फाइंड दैट. आजकल ये होता है, फ्रेश जो वर्ड बन चुका है ना, वो बहुत बड़ा वर्ड बन चुका है कि सब चाहते को कोई फ्रेश आ जाए, कुछ अलग हो, कुछ नया हो. वही किरदार अगर हम बार बार उसी एक्टर के पास जाएं, जिसने फादर का रोल किया होगा, तो आई फाइंड दीज कॉन्वर्सेशंस हैपनिंग अराउंड मी ऑल द टाइम कि लेट्स फाइंड अ न्यू फादर. I mean, वो न्यू फादर का क्या मतलब होता है पता नहीं. Now she's played a mother in 2 movies. We must find a new mother. तो नया बाप, नई माँ, नए भाई बहन, characters, interesting areas. It's all become about finding new talent and platforming it on cinema. क्योंकि जो भी नया होता है और जो अलग होता है, उसे ज़्यादा I think acceptance मिलती है, and you get much more praise for actually trying something different.
पहली फिल्म की अगर कास्टिंग का अगर कोई ट्रिविया आप देना चाहें जिसमें आपको मशक्कत काफ़ी हुई हो?
पहली फिल्म, मेरी पहली फिल्म?
जी.
मैं तो हर जगह गया था, मैं भिखारी बन चुका था उस फिल्म में. 9 हीरोइंस ने मुझे ना किया था टू कास्ट रानी मुखर्जीज रोल. मैंने सोचा कि मुझे कोई ना मिले तो मुझे शॉर्ट स्कर्ट पहन के वो रोल करना पड़ेगा. इवेंचुअली 8 हीरोइंस सेड नो टू मी, एंड देन आई वेंट टू रानी, जिन्होंने गुलाम किया था और करने वाली थी, वो कर रही थी, और उसके पास गया था क्योंकि आयरॉनिकली इट वाज सजेस्टेड टू मी बाय बोथ शाहरुख एंड आदित्य चोपड़ा. एंड दे सेड कि एक पिक्चर आई थी उसकी, राजा की आएगी बारात, तो उसने एक एक्सप्रेशन दिया था कि ट्रेलर चल रहा था उस दौर में, कुछ एक फैंटास्टिक सा एक मेन स्ट्रीम एक्सप्रेशन दिया था रानी ने. दोनों ने मुझे रेकमेंड उसी एक ही दिन पे किया था कि गो टू रानी, बिकॉज मैं नाम नहीं लूँगा, 8 हीरोइंस ऐसे नो टू मी, और किसी का फ़ोन भी वापस नहीं आया था. मैंने नरेट किया था, जिस तरह प्रहलाद कहते हैं ना, उस टाइम मैंने स्क्रिप्ट किसी को नहीं दिया था, बाकायदा नरेशन दी थी मैंने, बहुत ड्रामेटिक नरेशन दी थी. फिर भी उन्होंने, फिर उसके बाद सलमान के रोल के लिए मैंने पता नहीं कहाँ गया था. तो फाइनली इट वाज अ बिग, तो ट्रिविया क्या बताऊँ, यही आई हैड टू रियली बेग फॉर बोथ सलमान एंड रानी टू बी ऑन बोर्ड. वो दौर अलग था, वो दिन अलग थे, क्योंकि मुझे इतना ही था कि पहली सीन में रानी मुखर्जी को मरना था, वो इट वाज शी वाज डाइंग. तो मुझे मेरे पापा ने कहा था कि अरे कोई नई लड़की होगी तो मर जाएगा, कोई केयर भी नहीं करेगा कि वो मर गई पहले सीन में. यू नीड सम काइंड ऑफ अ स्टार to kill her in the first scene. तो इसलिए मैं चाहता था कोई जाना माना सा चेहरा हो. तो it's been, I mean, I'm sure Ashutosh will tell you more stories about the casting of Lagan, क्योंकि वहाँ इतनी पूरी जो क्रिकेट टीम कास्ट करनी थी. I think that to me is the epitome, and I would say it to Ashu himself. I think it opened the doors, Lagan opened the doors of unusual casting in mainstream cinema, because there was not a single film till 2001 where you saw so many interesting new faces that all left a mark individually. It's never happened, and it actually opened the doors of casting. Uske pehle बहुत सारे जो डिफरेंट रूट्स होते थे वो इंडस्ट्री कास्टिंग होती थी, जो उस फिल्म में किसी ने किरदार निभाया, किसी और फिल्म में किया है तो वहाँ से ले लो, यहाँ से ले लो. बट आई हैड नेवर सीन दोज फेसेस. They were real people, and I think it was a large part of the success of Lagan was the casting of the cricket team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, my question is to Ashutosh. I would just add it out with Karan. Definitely, Ashu is known for his very big canvas film and lots of characters, hundreds and thousands of people actually. तो जो मेन स्ट्रीम के जो कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं उस पर आप कितना ध्यान देते हो? देन यू हैव लॉट्स ऑफ अदर कैरेक्टर्स वेयर देयर आर वन लाइनर्स, टू लाइनर्स, डायलॉग्स आर देयर, तो उसमें आपका इन्वॉल्वमेंट कितना होता है? एंड हाउ डू यू फील कि दिस पोर्टल इज गोइंग टू हेल्प यू? एंड डू यू फील कि यू गो थ्रू पीपल दोज हु आर known to you first and then you come to these kind of thing as a secondary thing?
No, for me it starts at the scripting phase. जब कैरेक्टर क्रिएट किया जा रहा है उसी वक्त मेरे दिमाग में वो किस किस्म का होगा, कैसे दिखेगा, that immediately starts taking shape. So I start already looking for people. So for example, when I was writing Guran, I used to always say that Guran should be somebody like Rajesh Vivek. Because जब तक स्क्रिप्ट आपकी पूरी नहीं होती, you can't take conscious decisions, but you always have somebody in mind. And then I actually went for Rajesh Vivek. But what happens most importantly for my movies is I need one fulcrum. If that one fulcrum is right, then everything else is easy to do. So when you have an Amir, or you have a Shah Rukh, or you have a Hrithik, who are really going to play a character, going to change themselves, by their presence, they infuse the entire film with a different kind of believability. So it gives me freedom to cast a new girl. It gives me freedom to cast new faces. And what happens is those new faces even somehow make him or her also believable. So it's a process that takes some time, but I enjoy finding actors. So I enjoy, when I was saying I watch regional television, I meant actually DD Oriya, DD Srinagar, DD Bangla, go into all these channels and source the actors. And that can only be done when you have a kind of scripting level thoughts, clear thoughts.
Good
afternoon,
my
Ashu
thing was
sir.
to ask you actually कि आपकी एक लिमिट होती है कि now ये जितने इतने characters होते हैं वहाँ तक I'll be like focusing on that thing, and you have lots of other characters also, small characters. So
No,
उसपे
every-
आपका हाँ.
No, you're right, but every actor, right to the last, even if he's a non-speaking part, जिसे हम कहते हैं, non-speaking part, only presence, even that I ensure that it's auditioned and it's casted correctly. And when I say audition in wardrobe and everything. So it has to be done fully, otherwise you cannot leave anything unturned.
Ashu sir, Rachna from T2 Online. सर गुड आफ्टरनून. सर सवाल ये है कि जब आप अपनी पूरी फिल्म अच्छी तरह से कास्ट कर लेते हैं, स्क्रिप्ट एकदम सही लग जाती है जगह पर, और जब उसका ट्रेलर बाहर आता है तो कई तरह के रिएक्शंस आते हैं, मिक्स्ड से आते हैं, कई बार अच्छे होते हैं, कई बार क्रिटिसिज्म से भरे हुए होते हैं. आप उसको किस तरह से लेते हैं सर? हाउ डू यू टेक क्रिटिसिज्म इन योर स्ट्राइड व्हेन यू मेक सम बिग फिल्म्स लाइक यू डू?
I think you have to be open to that. क्योंकि एक बात तो तय है कि जैसे मैं आपको एक बहुत पुराना एग्जांपल दूं कि जब अमित जी का बहुत अच्छा दौर था, अब भी है, लेकिन जब इन हिज यंग डेज व्हेन आई वाज वाचिंग हिज मूवीज लाइक दीवार, आई वाज वाचिंग त्रिशूल एंड ऑल दीस काइंड ऑफ फिल्म्स, suddenly a film came in, a poster came in which was called Alap, and you had Amit ji's face on it in profile, a very poetic, and I didn't go for that movie. I didn't go for it simply because I was enjoying a dawn and a trishul, and I thought, kuch alag picture hai, even though it was Amit ji. So what happens is, we have our own immediate responses to trailers. And in a trailer, you're trying to depict your movie to the best of your ability. So there are certain elements that shock you. But you have to still be patient and form your opinion after you see the film. Because that's where actually everything comes out larger. And I must tell you, Alap was a superb film. And Amit ji was damn good in it.
Okay,
Hi,
hello.
Karan and Ashutosh. Hi, here. Don't you think in this present scenario, we have you'll have very limited choice when it comes to lead heroine in your typical mainstream Bollywood film?
Yes. Big problem. Big problem. 100 movies to make and 6 of them only that can sell your movie. Because suddenly you take anybody else and say you won't get the budget otherwise. क्योंकि फिर music नहीं बिकेगा, overseas नहीं बिकेगी, satellite नहीं बिकेगा, digital नहीं बिकेगा, कुछ नहीं बिकता फिर. फिर then otherwise you make a film that is smaller, then you can still take chances. The moment like and Ashutosh and I think are filmmakers that somehow when we think small we get scared and worried. I think we think best when we think large. At least for me, I think I mean when I was making Student of the Year, I used to feel really sad on the set. There was no star on that set ever. So I used to feel, oh God, इस film में कोई star नहीं है. So it used to bother me a little bit. But that was the ethos of that film. So I think yes, it's very, very limiting. We have very few movie stars, and I hope the country starts loving more and more stars very soon and gives them long legs and longevity as movie stars, so that we can actually have the choice. Because otherwise, it's really a problem. If we're going through a crisis, there really is just those many actors who are in trade parlance, viable, saleable, etc. And there are many filmmakers and many stories to be told. But unfortunately, they don't go through the grind because they go through the grind.
The last line that you said is the most important. The country needs to love more and more heroes and heroines.
Yeah.
Because we have to make movies, and a filmmaker, like he has now launched 3 faces, or I'm bringing out a new face. It's once in probably 1 year or 2 years, and then there's nothing. So there are others who are also launching. It's important that people start falling in love with more
I think the longevity of a movie star, of creating that huge impact with the star, I think maybe because it's all kind of, there's so much available that I think that, the way that we used to love our movie stars, up to the 80s, I think, that madness and insanity is definitely depleting with time. And, well, I think we have to start loving them just to make more films, I think, otherwise we're... and anyway, to say that, to relate that to what Shekhar's endeavor is, actually that's kind of exciting because, that opens, while there is just the dearth of those many viable actors, it also opens doors for so much new talent to walk through and kind of find a place. But, like Ashutosh and I just said, the love is an audience prerogative. That's something we can't do anything about.
And I think what Samir said earlier is a very apt example of the funnel, right? Is the funnel serves as a potential discovery engine, and we want to be the input into that funnel. And once we become the input into that funnel, then it's really up to the filmmakers and the content creators and the script writers to be able to showcase a piece of talent for them to come alive. But it starts with the funnel. So.
Karan here, right here at the back. Here. Yeah. My question is for you, Karan. As we all know, you launched like 3 new stars in your last movie, Student of the Year. So would we see you launching new stars in your upcoming movies through Talent Next also?
Well, I hope so. I definitely think that's my brief. That we definitely have to launch faces, and I actually now have started, and I completely endorse what Ashutosh said, that you take the pillar face and you can definitely then create talent around it. But you do need that. We make films with big budgets, we have to sell them. We're producers at the end of the day. I'm not a corporate studio. I'm not funded internationally, or I'm not a public listed company. I don't have that pool of wealth lying to take that chance with. I need to kind of have a selling face and then work around it. When I made Student of the Year, it was a chance I took. It was a leap that I had to take, and fortunately things worked out. But it doesn't always work like that. So my dictate to the production house, to the directors, to who are making movies, let's launch new faces, let's bring in new energies, and then of course leverage that, which is what I've done with Varun, Sid and Alia. We've put them in, as a result of launching them 4 years ago, cumulatively, they've done about 7 to 8 films with me already, so it's actually added to the repertoire of work in the company. It's completely beneficial, and I would encourage it at all levels.
And that trickle-down effect is...
Thank you so much, Karan. That was the last question from the audience and the press.
Okay,
thank
great.
you.
Yes, thank you.
Let's thank our esteemed panel here with a 1 round round of applause. And thank you all for coming.
thank you everybody for coming. Refreshments are served, so we can do that. Please help yourself.